Hello, everyone. I am here to talk about something serious. I've had dealt with it 4 times. I was stalked by my sibling and found out when you're having an argument with a sibling who decides to stalk you and steal your identity, you don't have much proof until you get it from, yeah, it was really hard. Well, anyway, I was stalked by my sibling. I was stalked by a student over at um, my community college, and then I was stalked by 2 people from the Pitt. So yeah, it was fun. And I'm going to tell you, if things get out of hand, just make a police report, and if it escalates, then take it from there and keep all documents that you possibly can. It's a serious thing. I like to talk about that and let people know that is a serious thing. It's happened 4 times to me. No, excuse me. Oh, and I forgot another one. Someone at YouTube caught their boyfriend watching, excuse me, watching me, and was upset and found out I was a big blabber, stupid mouth, said, you know, I was Omega Forever Prump, and this is Prump. And I said where I worked at, and yeah, it was my fault. I brought them to me. I'm like, oh crap. The only way you can get to me is email. And I've never been scared here in Pahrump. Like when my sibling was stalking me and when I was being stalked at my college, I really was scared. Those 2 times in my life, I was real scared. I mean, to be honest, it was more or less inconvenience. The other 2 times, it was a lot of, you felt that I had to deal with them at work. Did I want to deal with them at home? Really? I mean, on the honest, I didn't want to deal with them at home. Why are you stalking me online? Why are you doing? Just go and do your other shit. Just go. Down below is a lot of information. You need help. You're in, you're in danger. Call 911, baby. Call 911. They will listen. Yeah, excuse me. I haven't been stalked 4 times. I've been stalked 5 times. I forgot the other lady. She was more of an inconvenience. All where I used to work at, they just started locking the gate instead of keeping the gate open because she walked up to my vehicle and took a picture of what it looked like and sent it to me. I'm like, I used to keep my phone number. Also, it was stupid of me to put my phone number out there on the YouTube, like expecting it not to come out or something. Come on. I mean, that's silly. So anyway, it's been really hot. It was 107 today. Woo! Yeah. So please stay cool. I am going to do my stand up and talk about stalking on my half because it's happened so fucking often to me. I take it very seriously. If someone says, I'm feeling like you're stalking me and I have, I better pull back. I'm sorry. I went into someone's, they no longer feel safe. Somebody is telling them I'm a bad person. Just an evil person. And I get it. Okay. Toodles. All right. So here we go. Let me change this because I have this for like all the information I had to type out. I had to, wanted to get that. Okay. Stalking. To this, I will tell you seriously. I have been stalked. Yes, I have. So let me explain the first time. The first time I was being stalked was my sibling. And when you have an argument with your sibling, you go, oh, yeah. Well, the big argument, the reason why my sibling really got pissed is, you see, I had dogs and I love dogs. I love all animals. Let me just be honest. I love all animals. So I had 2 pit bulls that I love, which was Silky and Lucky, 2 beautiful blue pit bulls that are absolutely in my heart. They're no longer here. They passed away. Old age. Anyway, what happened was I had they used to have this really cool animal, like where you can buy stuff. It was really reasonable for California. And they had these cookies that looked like the real shiza. And I had a whole bunch of them in the dog cookie jar. It had a big dog bone and dog bones all over. I don't think I need to label it like my sibling said after she ate about 6 of them and said, God, these taste real healthy. And I'm thinking, yeah, my dogs think so too, but I'm keeping my mouth shut till you leave and I can go and put it on Facebook and have you look like an idiot for the next half hour because my kids were videotaped. Yeah, I put that up on I didn't put the video up, but I said I do have video if you want to see. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I got my brother pissed off because I put video up with him having eaten some cookies. I think it was video or just it was so long ago. It was a long time ago. I know a post up for sure. And it pissed off my brother because he kept saying how good they were. And I'm like, they are dog treat cookies. Yeah, that's funny. Got him all pissed off. So you know what happened. You know what happened. I know what happened. Well, he started stalking me. One day I was hearing he had a friend who, my sibling liked to drive motorbikes and had a friend that drove motorbikes right near me. It was like a mile and a half from me, and we drive the motorbikes and stuff and do all kinds of crazy stuff. On one day, because she had this pink motorbike and her pink helmet and everything, drove at the end of my driveway, revved up the engine. I walked out. My son said, "Who in the hell's that?" And it's like, threw a knife on the end, like it looked like a steak knife, threw it at the end of my driveway. I'm like, really? So you're stalking me now? I talked to the police. They said you got to have a lot of evidence, like a whole bunch of evidence. Oh, crap. Yeah, she was pretty smart. She wouldn't, it's like different phone numbers. She would try to leave messages and stuff. I had just a cell phone that was an Obama phone. So come on, and didn't delete any of the free the text messages were free. You can text to your heart content. I wasn't blocking any of them, even though I blocked the messages and, take pictures of them and not reply. They tell you not to reply and block and, do all that stuff. And it's a lot of work. Yeah, 5 times it's happened. I've had it, and it's serious. When you have that happen to yourself, it's serious. So the second time was over at my college, and I told a couple, hey, couple teachers, I'm being stalked. I think I am. Look over there. And sure enough, this guy would be like waiting for me to leave, and he was in one of my classes. I didn't care. I was married at that time. No, it wasn't a happy relationship, but I didn't need to have drama. Okay. I didn't need to add the shit on, I was like, crap, I'm just trying to deal with my life, yeah, let's not. So he's like acting like, God, you're hot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not interested. I'm just trying to deal with the aspect of learning the law. And the guy's like, your no means yes. I'm like, you're crazy. So he started following me. And I said, I need to ask you something. I said to one of my, professors, I think I'm being stalked. So we checked. And after a week, she goes, he has no classes anywhere here. He needs to go home. We're going to fix this. And it was fixed. After the weekend, he never stalked me. I don't know if she did anything, but after a week of checking over where, he would go hide and stuff, and he was watching me. And, she asked him, hey, are you doing anything? Do you got any classes? Oh, well, you should be going home or go over, to the library if you need to do any homework or whatever. And then he goes, well, I'm going to be doing homework over here. And no, we don't see you. You're just standing looking around. So, yeah, it did. I was so grateful for my teachers, and I want to thank them for at my community college for them believing me, because I thought I was actually his first I'm just seeing this person all over, like all over. What are they doing? They're in the same. I don't know if they're taking law. They just got out of jail from what they said in my one class. And yeah, I was like, yeah, you're not my kind. So, the best way, um, if you want to deal with, like, if you're a YouTuber and you want to share a phone number, use Google Voice, email, firewalls, ask for people's help. If you're working somewhere, ask for, someone that can help you in the building, in your job. And then you got, have a good foundation, make sure you get all your video and pictures and stuff, and make sure you can compile them in a folder, and then have like copies online all over and keep track of them. Those are very important. So, oops, I'm running out. Woo. Oh, I did write a bit, so I'm good. Okay, so we have a lot of things, like when we're being stalked and stuff, and here it is. I'm working somewhere, and they were stalking me while they were working there, pretending to be famous people. I would go, Keanu Reeves. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, he's a private. Nah, we're going to have fun with this one. Oh, I had fun with it because I knew it was fake. I went out. She was having her cigarette going, yeah, I'm pretending to be Keanu Reeves. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have so much fun. So I was like, I know you're fake and stuff. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to have this go for my while. So I'm like, yeah, my family's sending me a special Christmas present. Yeah, I'm getting this. And I was buying this stuff on Amazon. I had the money. My kids are grown. They were buying their own stuff, and they were actually treating me. So I had a little extra money and lied to a person who was pretending to be Keanu Reeves, who was pretty much stalking me, trying to get nude pictures and stalking me. God. So anyway, I lied and said, yeah, I'm getting all this shit. I'm getting all this stuff sent to me from family. Now, it was me. That person was so jealous. Oh my God. I should have kept my mouth shut. But man, you know how you got that ego that wants to, let's put it this way, when your ego is driving in the driver's seat and they are bigger than the car itself, you need to step back and realize what I should have said was, God, this is going to be the most horrible Christmas ever. And I should have just painted it the other way and have it one way, instead of them thinking that I was having everything great. But, sometimes you live and learn. It's better off not let the other camp know what's going on in your life, especially if they're stalking you. She went online so many times on this show. You should go up in here. She'd be drunker than crap and saying all kinds of shit. And I was like, oh God, at least it doesn't make sense and no one gives a fuck. But after a while, I just, people would complain. So I'd have to block her for 24 hours. I get her away for 2 days. What I would do is I'd figure out, if I went on my show at 10, I'd just go an hour earlier. So when her block was done, my show usually was done. I only had to go an hour sitting there talking. So those are the times I've been, and when you deal with it can be stressful. So it's always good to talk to a therapist. If people don't know that they're infringing on you at times and they're going, oh shit, I need to step back. I didn't know. I didn't know that they were around people with such a low frequency that they would actually think someone who was, let's just be honest, stalked a shitload of times. And I just go, well, I'm going to step back. You can go on your little fantasy cruise and get your ego checked out. But yeah, I'm just a stepping back, man. Yeah. And that's where I'm at. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I do have great information down below. It took me a bit to type it all out, but I am happy to be here and to tell you that there is a funny side. It happens to a lot of people, including myself. Yeah, Miss Evil herself, just, the Empress of Evil gets, well, we're not even talking about the fishing. We're just talking about, of course, something serious. And I think that when you're dealing about this and people are stalking you, and when people don't believe you, and the other stalking was, of course, like I said, the woman who got mad for her boyfriend watching my live feed and said all kinds of nasty things. I was like, damn. Yeah. So always as a YouTuber, don't do what I did. Go, yeah, they're not going to come over. Yeah. Consider they're crazy as fuck. And you're going to put it out like, hey, just email me. If I feel that you're okay, I'll give you my Google phone number. Yeah, the Google phone number. Don't give out your real one like me. If you give out your Google phone number, they're not, you can put it for anywhere in the continental US as far as I know, unless they have it Paraguay or somewhere else, but you might do that, Google Voice is still usable, believe it or not. Old tech, use that. If you're a YouTuber, you don't need to get a second phone. Hey, I need to go get an I bought my phone and we'll use that as my second. No, you don't need to do that. Go get Google Voice, and if it doesn't work, you can tell me, hey, Empress of Evil, it did not work out. Google Voice is a slump. So it's, I'll put it out there. I'll go get a Google Voice phone number, put it out, and check it once a week, because I don't expect it to get a whole lot of calls. Not everyone's going, damn, let's go give her a call. Yeah, she's talking about, yeah, like I said, 5 times being, I thought it was for, but it more or less was for the fifth, the woman who worked 3 minutes for my job. I just think that she was not mentally sound. I feel her frequency was way off. And they finally started listening when they said, hey, check this out. Who's that? That's the woman who's been stalking me. Oh, we're going to lock things up. Yeah, that's when they noticed and they go, we better lock. Yeah, she took a picture of my vehicle. Yeah, and I did. I was like, oh, I hope everything's going to be all right. I hope I have my tires all right. Yeah. Yeah, so stalking is a serious thing, and I take it serious. I want to let people know that. So down below, I do have information for the state of Nevada. I'm not going to go through the whole United States. You can go and Google that yourself or put it in your search bar on your own and figure that out, because that's where I got mine, from Google. I went and said, yep, this is what I want. I want to know what the state of Nevada has for us. There's hardly, I'm going to be honest, they really need more protection. I'm serious. It's like the stalker can, watch your place. Now here, I know there's, a lot of people here on my street. Let me tell you this, unless you're having a motherfucking yard sale that looks decent, most of the yard sales here, they're just like, oh, it's got to look decent. If I'm invited to a party, that's the only way on this street I am going to go to your house. So if you don't got a motherfucking yard sale and you didn't invite me, I'm not coming over. I don't give a fuck. I got better things to do in my life. And if you think you got an ego big enough, think more or less, I've been thinking that somebody's been sad, not feeling happy. And I am sorry for making that person feel uncomfortable. I am very sorry, and it will never happen again. So that's where I'm at with that one. Okay? Because I didn't mean it to be that way. I don't know who this person is hanging out with and stuff, but I'm sending them off with love and hope that they raise their frequency and have a wonderful, good day. Okay, so like I said, I guess you can say when you have certain things that happen to you and you realize when it happens the first couple of times you're going, my sibling, and it was in the same year. I had to deal with my sibling stalking me and a person from college stalking me. I was just like through with it all. That was one of those years where I just said, this is a lot to learn. This is a lot on my plate. Fuck. So finally, after that year, and certain things changed financially, we moved out of that area and we moved to Pinion Hills or Phelan. And that's where I found out where the police station there, policeman's called Phelan policeman. Get it, Phelan? Never mind. They even have the Phelan High School. That's where my daughter went. The Phelan High School. Phelan High. Yeah. Anyway, that's where our next place lived, and it was absolutely quiet. I loved it. And I didn't, and yeah, that's how I got rid of my other stalkers. I moved and didn't use, what I did is my forwarding address went to the Phelan post office for a while because it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $30 for a year back then, but I could be wrong. It wasn't that expensive. I think about 6 months, and I told them when it's done, I'll give them the keys. And they go, yeah, okay, cool, all right. Because I was that tired of having my family in my business. I was done. I felt stalked, and that's when, it's like you disappear and you're like, good, I'm done. All right. And that's how I quit my sibling from stalking me. Yeah. Now, the other guy, he just left me alone after I had somebody from a professor get involved, a lady that she was an older one. She was so fun. She always told the funnest stories. She was a little short Jewish lady that I just loved. Oh, so, okay. Okay. And like I said, if you're on my block and you're not having a yard sale and I haven't been invited, why the fuck am I going to go and spend time? And that yard sale better be fucking good. That I'm going to at least buy one thing that's useful. Yeah. Because I went to one, a while back on our street, and I'm like, yeah, I'm afraid to touch some of that shit. It was like, yeah, I know. You should have cleaned it. Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. You got to be, careful. And I understand that's your privacy. I'm good with that. If I'm going on my street and I see someone pulling out, I'm not going to go and try to rush up to my thing and rush into my driveway. That's driving fucking fast and fearless in a place that is like 15 miles an hour or so. So I waited, and one of my neighbors that I knew came out. Big deal. Made eye contact. Bye. Go back in. I'm going in my spot unless he's inviting me over or having a yard sale. I'm not going over that motherfucker's house, matter what. I got better things to do. And if they got an ego big enough to thinking, I go, oh my God, I can't live without you. No, that's not going to happen. I bother you that much. I creep you out that much. I geek you out that much. I'm not going to be following you, subscribing you, or seeing you, or caring to listen to you. It's just let you go do your thing. God, I thought it was funny. Yeah, right. More like me, I could put it on at least one hand, And I know how it feels. And I take very serious of that if someone says that I am stalking them. Boy, like I said, take hold of your ego and realize your ego might have been driving that car a lot more than what you knew. driving that car all around. That is what it is. I don't give a flying fuck, to be honest with you. It's not my car, not my life. So if anyone lives here and thinks that I have nothing better to do than to stalk people and to have no life, then you really must think I have no life and I'm sitting around going, oh, I'm going to do a tarot. No, if I do a tarot, I'm finding out what so and so thinks of me and how I'm going to get a job. If I put a job here, what will happen here? Okay, I'll try over here. Maybe I got a better luck. I'm looking at my future. Fuck you guys and fuck you guys and fuck you guys. I'm looking at moi. I'm not looking at Blow Joe here and JoJo there and Lala there and someone behind me. No, I'm looking over at Steffi. Who's going to help Steffi? Me. I'm going to help Steffi. I'm not looking out. I'm looking out for me, myself, and I. If someone thinks I'm stalking them, I like to know about it. Because if I'm going to make someone leave in a live feed, fuck, I'm nothing but an evil fucking bitch. And that pisses me off. It's called communication. It's great, Some people will, profuse all these things. And they're great, full of information. I knew a husband and wife who did YouTubing, and they did it so great. This is back in the early 2000s. I was in Michigan, and they had just a whole room about this size, just for YouTubing and all that. And it was amazing. There's stuff, but it took them years, and it does. You got to come on, tell people. If you go tell them that you're going to be on at 12, be on at least no later than 12:15, because it took me 10 minutes to type all the shit. So I'm getting slow in my typing. I got to speed that shit up, huh? So anyway, I did my typing of all the information. If you are being stalked, right now I'm going to just, stop and talk seriously instead of doing some comedy and say, stalking is a serious thing. It's happened 5 times to me. And 2 of them, I was really scared because someone who had the same phone as me was, they would it's called where they call and can see you. And I was not a stitch of clothing on, sick as anything. Both ports of my body were open and I had gone everywhere. Let's just put it that way. And you can color it in any way you want. And they were calling bomb me for 12 hours. I was like, shit. I went hours just feeling so sick and couldn't even make it to where I needed to go. And this phone's going off and I can't turn it off. I'm feeling crappy. Yeah, I did call off that day. Woo-wee, was I really bad? Yeah, I made a police report on that. That's nice having people. It's most of the people who've ever lived in that trailer next door. Anyone who goes to live there, they just seem to, I don't know, I must have the luck of the shit. It's not the luck of the Irish, because whoever lives next door there just seems to hate the shit out of me. You know what they did when they first moved in next door? They killed all of my chickens except a couple of them. My 2 chickens recently, both of them died this summer. The last of my chickens that I had for over 5 years, they were killed, most of them, last year by older dogs. And they thought it was funny and they were laughing. Oh, my son had to hold me back because them fuckers were laughing. Isn't that funny? You guys are stupid. You guys are stupid. You didn't lock your chickens up. Yeah, but your dog's put 3 fucking big ass holes about this big. Well, if I lock them up now, they're stuck and they just going through the holes. Come on. Yeah, they went and nudged their thing through the holes and attacked. All 3 of them attacked them. It was just like a bloody massacre what happened. So yeah, I try to be forgiving and understanding, but they said mean shit about us. They just were not very nice people who lived next door over in the trailer. So when they moved, I was so happy. I was so elated. I could not believe they're finally gone. And I almost felt like now the trouble will be done and everything, and just give it time. be positive, and keep moving on. And that's the only thing I can do that would fight those people who hurt me deeply, killed my chickens. I cried for a week. Those were my little things. I brought them up from little chicks, and now they're, like I said, they moved next door and didn't give a shit about their dogs. So my son called on them first. I called on them second. We took turns, and then afterwards we also had the light that used to be up there. It was up there for 8 hours a night because I was paying the electric bill. When he first brought it in, he had it on from the time it got dark to the time it just was getting light. And it was like killing me electric wise. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting $1,000 electric bill. What do you think? So yeah, I have been stalked 5 times. I would say 2 of them really scared me because when you work with someone and you're being stalked, someone's voice, how they look, when you see their faces and it's on that face thing, it. And they're all laughing. She's hanging out with people who really don't think well of me. And you know what? I don't care. When it's at work, I'm at work, and I don't care if you like me or not, as long as you treat me like a decent human being. And if you don't like me outside of work, you don't have to say hello. You don't need to call me. You don't need to stalk me on my social media, on my platform. That is not acceptable. And I started standing up for myself, especially after the fact that I did play a mean game. I knew she was pretending to be someone. I should have just blocked her and moved on, because that would have been better off than playing the mean game and pretending to be stupid. Come on, Keanu Reeves. He doesn't have no social media thing. He doesn't go and talk to people. He's a very private person, period. No question. Let's move on. And that's what I should have done. But you live and learn when you get burned. Yep. And like I said, keep note of everything. Keep a hard copy. Add everything you can to it. I try to do that for my sibling because he was really being just an asshole and driving her motorbike at 2 and 1 o'clock in the morning when I was going to college classes and learning school, and here I had to, So yeah, so always keep track of everything, and like anything, have a good foundation. Don't walk to your car alone if you're being stalked that much. Don't do nothing alone. Yeah, it is what it is, I mean, I wish they had better laws on that, but they don't. They really don't. Well, I almost made it to that time, and we have a time to sit and talk a little bit. And if you feel the need that you are in danger, like I said, call 911. I am not the police. There are other people more fitted for that, not me. But I give you an idea who to call in the state of Nevada. But after that, if you're in another state, I am sorry, you will have to look that up yourself. I give you foreground where I'm from, and you work from that. Yes, I know what it feels like. I know when you're like going out to your car and you're thinking, God, just make sure I'm safe. Yeah. I don't like the thought of people thinking that I would go, yep, there's nothing better than to scare the fuck out of somebody. If you have an ego that big, go for it, because you'll be very lonely at night. I'm not going to go out and go in someone's private area. Yeah. Oh God, I don't know how many years of how long you would be in jail. Why? I got better things to do. First of all, I don't get on and doing drugs and drinking excessively where I'm going to be doing stupid shit like going into someone else's place that I'm not fucking invited to in the first place. If you're not inviting me to a party and you don't have a yard sale, then why the fuck am I going into your yard? Maybe they just don't know me. Well, let me give you a little hint. If you got a big ass ego and think that I am going to go to your house because I think you're good looking, nah, I don't think so. I think I got better things to do than to go to someone's house where I'm not invited, not welcome. Come on. Even I don't do that. Only dumbasses do that. You know, the ones that end up going to jail a whole bunch of times and think it's like, hey, it's Club Med. Do, 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 do. Because I don't play it that way. I'm an honest, hardworking woman. I don't plan on having stocking put on my shit, just putting it out there. And I do take it seriously if someone says, hey, I think she's doing that. Like they need to throw something out there to make them feel good. Well, the reality is I've been stalked 5 times. I have a police report on someone I used to work with because they living next door to me were excessive calling me while I was throwing up and having diarrhea all over. Well, 12 hours of fun and just throwing up and all kinds of fun shit. Nothing like being naked and wet, naked and alone. I'm just putting it out there. And I did make a police report after that because there was nothing. Yeah, they phone bombed me and I was totally naked on the toilet, sick and going, what? I'm doing this, and I accidentally opened the thing, and they got to see me all. Yeah, I was really sick, and no, I said to my son, "You let me alone." I told him, "No, you let me alone. I'll wash in the tub in here because it was bad. Oh yeah." I finally, after everything, I cleaned it up. I was like, I had double washing. So stocking's a very important thing to remember, to always keep note of everything and all the stuff and keep them where you can readily avail, give it to a police officer, judge, whatever, or your lawyer, because that's important. There's been people who have been, you know, you heard about it. These people, they opened the door to fans, and they this one guy, he had a crush on somebody and stabbed her. I'm like, yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, if I'm not invited and you're not having a yard sale, there's no reason. The only way I used to walk up and down the street was with my daughter, and that's because I thought there were some creepers down the way and I didn't trust them. So, yeah, I usually walk around in my round thing if I can't go to sleep or I'm thinking, and I go in I walk around there and go do that. But if you got an ego and you think that I'm like, uh, I'm in some way going to stalk you, oh, hell no, that's not going to be happening. I'm thinking, wow, okay, I'm wrong. You're right. I made you feel uncomfortable. That won't happen. And I will cut myself out of your problem. There you go. So, that's how I feel. I don't want anyone who watches me or who does participate here to feel that they're being stalked in some way, or that I go on their platform and they feel hurt. Because when you get it done 5 times, you can see how some people are acting, and you may not feel that you're stalking, but maybe they feel you are. And if they feel you are, you got to listen to how they feel. And you go, hold it. This person feels that I'm overstepping and stuff, so I got to back off because they feel that way. And even though I don't, I back off and I'm going, you know what? You are in the right. Toodles. It's all done. Because if I live on the same block as anybody, Nobody deserves to be stalked. When you get it done 5 times, you just get tired of this shit. And I understand, and I go, the only way I am going to go to anyone's house on my block or anywhere is if they have a yard sale. And even then, I'm like, they better have some good stuff I can see from the street, because I won't stop if I don't got the money. I'm not stopping. Right now, I don't got the money and I'm not stopping. And if I'm not invited to anybody's house, why the fuck am I going to be walking around? It's 104, 107 today, 107. Fuck, I'm staying inside. And even if it cools off, I don't give a flying fuck about, whoever, because they got a life. And it's not fair to take it from them to do what? To feel power over them? Fuck no. Give the power to them. They don't want me around. It's fine with me. I move along. I can cut it out. I'm good. And I'm just that way. I don't say nothing bad. If I made someone, my frequency caused them to feel that they were being stalked and I was being mean, and I was thinking I'm supporting a friend, hey, my feelings are different. If they're feeling stalked, even though I'm trying to support them, then I got to go with what their feelings are, because they're the ones that are going to be pissed off. They're going to want to get a protection order and all that. Why? Because I need to back off. They don't need me. I cut it off, unsubscribe, and move on. And that's how it should be. I didn't know it. So I said, let me let everyone know that I'm not someone who's bullshitting or just blowing bubbles out of my ass. If someone feels that way, if I would have gotten a message, hey, so and so feels that they're stalking, please back off. But I didn't. I had to figure it out on my own. Fuck. And that made me feel bad. Am I becoming narrow-minded? I step back. Maybe I need to take a 24-hour just away from here and wish someone well and just cut them out and move along and hope they do well. Because usually, like I said, I'm never wrong. But anyway, yeah, stalking's very bad. I do not look and say to people, and yeah, I've told people they needed to have better stalking laws. They're mainly for the stalker. No, I think if you're in, especially, I'm going to be honest, in most of the people, there's not a lot of places for rentals and they're in a small area. And if you're, like in a residential area trying to stalk, it's not lit up at all, which is really good. There's no street lights making it easier for you to see in people's windows and shit. Most of the stuff's off the, where you can't really see, which it gives, privacy. I would love to get in my backyard 10-foot high fences, seriously. But yeah, I didn't like I did not like learning that someone felt I was stalking them. So I backed off, unsubscribed, and said, holy shit. I've been sharing their shit and saying, hey, go to their channel and stuff, and saying I read their books and stuff. And I go, whoa, I really pissed off somebody in their camp that was so pissed and so threatened by me and so everything. And I have a feeling they moved. They were living next door to me and moved out of that trailer. And it has felt so much better since they have moved. They were not good people. I am not sorry. I'm glad they moved. It wasn't my fault that they moved. It's because they have to be Section 8 and they now have a different tax bracket and they got to, move. And boy, am I glad. I just couldn't. Oh, I want to get a 10-foot fence and never talk to another one of the renters next door as long as I live. I don't usually talk to them, but when they brought their dogs to kill all my chickens, yeah. You tend to, not really give a flying fuck about them at all, to be honest. You know, I decided to talk seriously. The last, I think I got, we got about 15 minutes. So, yeah, down below, I got information on stalking. If you're dealing with stalking, document everything, pictures, videos, ring camera, that type of thing. Make sure you document it and put it in more than one email, one place. Have a foundation of friends and family for an emergency time if you have to leave. If you're being stalked and you have to leave somewhere, it's always good to go somewhere else. But like I said, if you got a huge ego about the size of a gargantuan one and thinking that I would actually take time out to get in my car and stalk wherever you live, you got to be fucking joking. Gasoline's expensive enough. I'm not prepared to pay extra to go rummaging around where someone lives to make them feel like they don't have power, because that's what stalking does. It takes power away from other people. And I want to give it back to you, a little bit of info down below. And also the state of Nevada does have, and you can get a gun permit. You can get a gun, learn how to use it. They do have gun classes here. Learn how to use that gun, because if you have the gun and you have children at home and somebody is stalking you and they are meant to do harm, use that gun. Learn how to use it. Stalking's a serious thing. I've been through it for five times. It's like, fuck. It's like me and stalking and being fished has been like the thing. It's not prompt. Shoot, I had it done 3 times in California, so I'd say California is winning out more than Trump. It just so happens. It's like everyone that lives in that trailer's used to. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that has. I don't know if it's just evil people hate me or what the deal is, but I felt really bad. I sat there and said, yesterday, you know what I got to do? I got to look up this, find out, give them the information down below. Let them know I'm not making it up. I'm not doing a lie. I'm telling the truth. I've been stalked 5 times. And it's serious. And if you think you got an ego big enough thinking, I want to go to jail because what? I want to take the power from you to feel safe. Isn't that what, I don't know about you, but as a friend, that's going to be stepping way back and cutting back and saying, hey, you know what? I wish you well. I send you off with love. I don't feel, it's like, I hope our frequency, we'll meet again at a better everything, because wow, I was just like blown away. And a lot of times, a lot of people who are stalking, they don't realize. I didn't realize going to someone's live feed and upsetting them. I did not know. I really didn't. And I feel really bad. And I says, oh, I need to unsubscribe and call it a day. And that's what I did. I was, I felt really bad. I was like, fuck. Wow, they really are not on the, yeah. Whew. So when you're put as a stalker, a lot of people do that because a long time ago, like I said, people have come up to some people and stabbed them. They don't know if I'm going to do that. They don't know me from Adam. They don't. So I'm sitting back thinking, he's in the right. I got to step back. I got to make him feel that he's in power again, that he has a power around, and that he feels that he's safe wherever he is staying, because I'm not fucking going there. It's fucking too hot. Even at night, it's what, 80 degrees right now? It's 80 degrees. Alexis, how hot is it right now? Alexis, what's the temperature right now? That's not answering me right now. Well, let me ask my one on my phone. What is the temperature right now in Pahrump, Nevada? Oh my, it's 89. Woo, it is a hottie. So please stay hydrated in a cool place. If you have to go to a cooling center, please do so. No, I don't. You gotta look at your dumb phone. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm glad the people that were living next door, even though it wasn't my deal, to say if they stay or go or whatever. That was to deal with them, whatever was going on between them and those guys. So it wasn't nothing to do with me. I was just happy that they're no longer here and call it a day. Like I said, let them be somebody else's problem, not mine. So tomorrow, I don't know if doing a 2-hour show is a lot of writing. And usually I do 1 2-hour show because you know what I do? I take everything I've done throughout the week and put it for one show. That's 2 hours. And for me to do that, I would have to be on till like 3 because I'm doing 12. I don't get on anyone's radar. I still do my work, and I'm out there and I'm putting out stuff. So I appreciate the thumbs up. I really do. I work hard. And tomorrow I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do, and I will tell everybody. I usually just sometimes when I wake up, I meditate, and it just gets me going on what to write, because it takes 4 full pages for me to write to make a 1-hour show. And if I don't do 4 full pages, I'm short. But I want to do a commentary and talk to you guys about stalking and how I seriously messed up. I made someone feel uncomfortable. I pulled back. I unsubscribed. Didn't even message or anything no more, and don't watch them, and said, gee, okay, goodbye. I'm pouring into myself, and that's what I'm planning on doing. And that's all I'm doing. If someone wants to make fun of me and say shit about me, they can go and do that. But I have realized I made someone feel uncomfortable and hurt. And that's not fair. So I am sorry. I'm putting it out there. And like I said, I have been stalked 5 times. I take it very, very, very seriously. If someone feels that way, it hurts my feelings. I will go, oh shit. It takes the power away from somebody. I want to give their power and they run with it and do well and just be happy. So, yeah. So, tomorrow I'll figure out what the show's going to be like. I'm going to be on at 12. Right now it's working. I get to do Rachel bought pizza. I had some pizza. I was like, I'm being spoiled. Numbers. It was good. Then tomorrow I got dinner already because I bought dinner and I just couldn't eat it. That's what happens when I buy the big. I didn't buy it. I actually had enough punch outs for free. I only spent $5 for dinner because I bought fries with it because the burger, I should have did the burger fry combo, but they were just saying you get free burger. So yeah, the fries aren't free, but it's delicious. It really is. And they got boba over at my coffee shop. Ooh, get boba now. All right. Yeah. Java Junkie has boba. You can put it in with your coffee. I do now. So, yep, 89 degrees. It hasn't even gone down to 80. God dang. Ooh, it must be a hot, sweaty, you know what. And so, like I said, if you are in need of emergency, call 911. Here's the information down below on being stalked. I've been stalked 5 times. It sucks. I think the one time I was just like, you gotta be joking. Yeah, they just locked the gate. So I will see you tomorrow. And you have a nice cosmic evening. And I'll be here tomorrow at 12. Good night.